Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time, as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. The modern release that I want to look at today is Bear and Breakfast. This is one that I saw on a Nintendo Direct and thought it looked incredibly charming, very cute, very funny, very different. I'm not one for management simulator type games typically, but this one looked charming and weird and quirky enough that I wanted to give it a shot, and it was free at my library, so I'm like, heck, why not? I did play the Switch version of this game, so that some of my issues might be Switch specific, but I actually don't think so for this particular release, and I'll talk about that as I get through my review here. So if you don't know what Bear and Breakfast is, it's a game where you play as a bear, kind of anthropomorphic. I mean, they talk to each other like other animals, like they're very human-like, but they don't communicate with humans because they can't speak human. So in like the shared universe that you have here, the bears and the humans can't understand each other, but you are fixing up properties and being them out to people that want to come visit. For in this world, humans haven't been around these areas for quite a while, but the bear character that you're playing as wanders off, much to the behest of his mother, who tells him not to, and finds this little shark character with a little intercom on his chest, talking about like fixing up your property and managing it and turning it into a bed and breakfast and everything. It's really funny how these dialogue options go, because the shark is always very on the nose, saying that this is going to be incredibly lucrative for them and minimally profitable for you. But since these are a bunch of animals who've never had any human currency, this is a slam dunk. They're very excited about the potential to actually have money, and so your whole point is fixing up these places and then turning them into bed and breakfasts and then bringing the humans back. And after a while, you'll unlock new areas, you'll go to them and check them out and everything. After a while, you're managing a ton of different properties, you're fixing up a ton of different spots, and along the way you have a very funny plot line going on. Very funny and very sinister in a lot of ways. This game is like perfect for you definitely need to be older to play this one in the first place. It has a lot of moving parts. It's not like a super simple game to be just picking up. I believe it is rated E10. It's definitely rated that for like the difficulty, but there's also like more adult themes going on underneath that you wouldn't really pick up because it's got this cutesy aesthetic. But if you're an adult playing this game, it does add a lot of charm and a lot of nuance to the gameplay. There's like a little mafia that exists down in the dump area, and it's hilarious how they operate. You've got some like sinister plot lines going on, some really creepy areas as well. The way that this game unfolds is very funny, and the interactions you have with the NPCs is what makes this game so much fun, along with the fantastic also, like I guess the really fantastic simulation as well. They do a really good job of making a pretty addictive gameplay loop. Like I said, I don't typically like gravitate toward these kind of games, but this one had its hooks in me pretty well. It was a bit clunky for me playing on console. I think this is definitely more attuned to something like a PC, obviously. It took a long time to get used to the controls. I didn't ever really feel like I was like fully in control of what I was doing. It felt like every now and again I'd get used to the controls, and then I'd mess something up, and then I'd have to restart what I was doing. So it can be a pain in the butt to control. I will get that out of the way. It was one of my biggest gripes of this game. My other big gripe is that the loading screens were pretty atrocious. They are pretty bad. Now, this could be a Switch specific problem because I was playing this on Switch, but I actually don't know if that was the case. I think that this one is just built in this engine. It doesn't look like it's especially like difficult to run graphics wise. So I would imagine this runs pretty similar on multiple platforms. I think it just has some bad loading screens just because of how it was designed. I think this is an indie game, so I clearly don't want to throw any shade there, but they did detract from my experience in a lot of ways. Let me know if you have played this on like the PlayStation or the Xbox. Let me know if you had bad loading screen issues as well. I would love to hear if they are specific to the Switch or if they are multi-platform as well. But that out of the way, let's continue on with what makes this game really fun. After a while, you'll get so many properties, and you'll like unlock bus stops. You have to like fix them up with specific tools, and you have to like go around collecting resources and everything. Once you're able to move around quite a bit, it becomes a little bit cumbersome to try and manage so many properties in so many different places. It's a very large area that you're covering. Even the bus, having the quick transportation, makes it so that you don't have a lot of time throughout the day to be fixing up, following the main plot line, and managing the properties as well. So you'll meet funny, quirky NPCs that will act as like a liaison at the desk. They won't be able to like match the person going to the bed and breakfast to the perfect room that you've built for them. Like some people will prefer specific types of room with specific types of decorations. Those decorations you can get from I think it's a possum that operates out of like a dumpster and has all these items. It's hilarious. And you pick up trash and you exchange the trash for these items. So you can tailor make every single room. My strategy was to make every room almost identical. I just made the boilerplate, like very basic stuff. I didn't get into the nuance of everything. It does look like it could be a lot more fun. Because the building was a little more cumbersome to me, I didn't ever get really interested in that. I was more there for the plot line. So I made everything pretty standard. I didn't decorate anything crazy. So it wasn't a big deal for me to have someone that wasn't tailor making each person for specific rooms. But it would make more sense. You get better outcomes, better returns, and better ratings from them. So your like overall rating for the specific property you're managing will go up if you're matching people to the right rooms. But if you need a concierge and you need them to do that, manage certain properties, it's really worth it, because then you don't have to go back and forth between all these while you're trying to also do, like I said before, the main plot line and uncover the funny, quirky mysteries that are going on in this world. I won't spoil anything in the like main storyline here. Just suffice it to say, there are plenty of twists and turns that make this a really enjoyable experience and really pushes you forward. Even if you're not there for the sim, if you don't like the simulation style of things, the plot is funny enough and engaging enough that it's worth pursuing to the end here. I think this is a very fun game. I think that the technical issues and stuff do bring it down in a lot of ways, especially on the Switch, which is probably the platform I'd prefer to play it on, because it's on the go, obviously, and this kind of feels tailor-made for something like that. But overall, the main storyline and everything, and the cute, charming aesthetic, and the great characters and the fantastic writing really carry this game in so many ways. This will sink its hooks into you just because of that. And if you like the sim style stuff as well, you're gonna really enjoy this one. It's very, very fun. I think the devs did a fantastic job, and I definitely would recommend it. For me, I'm going to give it in between a silver and a gold rank. I do think that the plot elements and like the gameplay itself and the areas that they've designed, I do think it carries it enough so that even like the technical hiccups and the cumbersome controls on console make up for it enough that this is an enjoyable experience. So if you're looking to try this one out, go check out your library if they have free games. Like I've gotten so many games from there, and Bear and Breakfast just happened to be one, so go check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.